All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. We are going live in five, four, three, two, one. Hi, everybody. This is Zorfast for us. I'm back again with another podcast. This will be my fifth podcast talking about, well, today's subject will be about police brutality. And with me, I have a special guest, a man without too many bad qualities. Feel free to introduce yourself.
What's up, boss? Dar. I'd rather go by that.
All right, Dar, there's nothing wrong with that. Uh, we are talking about pretty much how police brutality is almost the new culture in America.
hmm
So,
You feel as though it's a culture? You feel as though it's something new?
nah, I don't. I don't even want to. I don't even want to say that it's something new. It's been going on for a long time,
That's
far beforehand. It's just that
that's
it's just been getting a bunch of media coverage.
right.
You
Well,
know,
we got Facebook Live, so everything is more up to date. We can see it now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but I think it's actually roughly.
It's documented these days, but it's always been there.
Yeah, it's always been there, but what makes it scary is that even with the new footage, still less
Right.
than 1% of all officers that commit a crime of murdering somebody. I'm phrasing it that way specifically because of um how lightly they're treating lives. You know,
Absolutely.
they
That's
these people are taking a
yeah.
yeah,
I'm listening.
these cops are taking the lives of people. Now, look, I'm a black man, and my priorities have to be for my people. I don't want to say it like, oh, well, my only people is black people. I know a lot of white people, but our struggles are different.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and
Definitely.
and to not acknowledge that would be blasphemy. But I am aware that Caucasians are suffering as not as much as we are, but not that far in difference in reported.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Not
like
at all.
uh,
Yeah.
allow me to explain so we could throw out some statistics real quick. African Americans are 3 times more likely. I'm sorry, 5 times more likely to be stopped by police, and we are 3 times more likely to be killed by police.
Mm.
And according to 2017, according to the New York Department of Justice, 30% of the African Americans that has been killed has been uh, unprovoked and unarmed.
You see?
A random traffic stop turned into a person losing their life.
You see? And you see, those numbers are something that you can't
Yeah,
ignore.
yeah, you
You
can.
know,
Yeah, it's
you
facts.
look at the numbers and say this shit is in people's heads. This is real,
Real
real
life.
act. Yeah, this is real stuff.
The scariest part about it is that we we have our issues I'm not gonna say race because everybody says race is uninformed. We are an ethnicity of people.
Right.
A lot of people's like, oh no, we have to use race. Race is a social construct. It's not
Mm.
even scientific based. Any scientist will tell you that, nah, we're all the same race. The only differences between us is literally our skin pigmentation and maybe the structure of our facials. African
Absolutely.
yeah, African Americans tend to have more broad noses and larger lips. You
Right.
know, and one interesting fact talking about black people, it, you know, every time you watch the Olympics, there's always like a black person within like the top five. The reason for that is that African Americans are. I know it's not a large number, but we're 1% physically stronger than every other race.
Mm. Just being.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm using the term physically. That means that regardless of the situation, even if it is a small bump, it's a small bump. We see Hussein Bolt, and nobody's
Right.
really touching him, even by accident.
Right.
Like, yeah, but pretty much back on topic, we are being targeted and killed at a far higher rate when it comes to police brutality. Let's look at Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner is a man that shouldn't have died.
Absolutely not.
I don't feel that a person's life should be ended, right? Because they're at a scene that they didn't provoke.
Right. Right.
You know, like he couldn't breathe. He first of all he got put. What happened?
No, I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm reaffirming what you said. He couldn't breathe.
Yeah, he couldn't breathe. He was put in an illegal chokehold, by the way.
Right.
And I know some people that practice martial arts daily, and they was like, "That's a chokehold that's not meant to hold or disable somebody. That's a chokehold to kill."
Absolutely.
You know, and none of those officers, none of them got charged.
None of them. Not one.
I don't see how. Good.
Charge to that officer though that was that actually had him in the headlock. What's his name?
Uh,
Daniel Pentonio or something like that.
I don't think he got I
But
don't
charges have recently come up in that case. I saw it. That's
how recent?
weeks, probably last week.
Shit. All right, I gotta update myself.
Yeah,
Um,
it recently came up. So
well, I'm glad because something needs to be done.
yeah,
What?
I want to say he was officially charged by the department. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken. But let me take a look, see if I can find it.
You know, but regardless of the situation,
Yeah.
it later came up that you know, because he's known for peddling cigarettes and stuff.
Right.
So,
Right. That's the thing too, man. He was known for doing this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he was known for like peddling cigarettes. But what if I told you that during that day after he was searched, there was no cigarettes on him? So
Unbelievable.
so that means that he literally died because he existed. Allow me to say that again. He died because he existed. There was no probable cause other than the fact that the cops knew him. So what they could have done was ask him, "Hey, you have stuff on you," and you could escalate it, but not to the point where you can take somebody's life.
Right. Right.
You know, like do, do you know how terrible that must be that you lost your life for known for doing something for doing something bad. Now this badness is not violent. He's selling
Right.
cigarettes on the
That's,
side.
that's exactly. He sold $2 Lucy's. Man.
He sold $2 Lucy's. I don't see. Well, that first of all, that's a ripoff. But for the most part, no, I don't see why he had to lose his life over selling cigarettes that he didn't have on him.
Now,
Cops.
what exactly was the issue? Why did whoever called the cops on him? Why did they call the cops on him? You know what I'm saying? That's what I.
Oh nah. As far as I know, the cops were responding to a different situation, and he was in the area, and
He
they,
was in it.
yeah, he was in the area, and they was just like, um, he was trying to break up a situation,
Mm-hmm.
and the cops was like, and somebody called the cops. Look,
Somebody called.
yeah, somebody called the cops, and it escalated from there. They told him to leave a couple times, but as far as the information that I have on him, he knows both of the people. It's like, look, man, I don't want these two dudes to escalate into something crazy. I want to be around. The cops told him, he's like, aren't you known for peddling cigarettes? If you don't,
Right.
you need to get out of here, like right now. He's like, but I'm not committing a crime. I'm just a bystander, especially somebody that was around. Like he could have been used as a
Right.
witness if something was to escalate.
Right.
So legit, cops like to question people afterwards. Hey, do you know what happened here? He could have been one of the witnesses, but the cops was like, nah, fuck that. You have a bad reputation, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna escalate this to you dying.
Right.
What?
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, it was completely unnecessary. and it's not like they have a good track record. I don't wanna say anything about cops, like in a real bad light. But I'm a black man that's conscious of my environment. I
Right.
don't want an officer to show up in any situation that I'm doing to increase the chance of me losing my life.
Absolutely, man. It's I laugh because it's crazy that you have to actually say that you don't want that to happen. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's insane. But that's exactly you don't exactly. If that's the case, why even call them?
Well, a lot of people still
You
have.
never.
I'm sorry. Statistically speaking, right? 87% of white people have a respect for law enforcement, and
Right.
believe it or not, over 37% of black people have respect for police enforcement. Now, I'm
Right.
not shitting on cops that 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 do their job, but you guys are being put in a bad light because of the people that you surround yourself with.
You surround yourself with. This is what I'm saying. And this is another problem too. There's a culture that they have. And it's like it's almost a situation where they work with people that they know are not up to par. They know they don't know how to. Their communication skills are terrible. Talking about cops and their co-workers, they know these people are dicks and not the best qualified people to be cops, but they still defend these people when they do fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a gang mentality.
Blue lives matter, sir.
And say, yo, well, this guy Daniel, that choked out Eric Gardner, he was a fucking dick that thought he knew everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a fucking piece of shit. I'm not surprised he did that. They'll say this amongst each other, and he very well may have been that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a supervisor out there that he wasn't listening to. He did what he took it upon himself to put Eric Gardner in that chokehold and kill him. So it should be an open and shut case if you ask me.
Nah, there's just too much, and it's a good thing that you brought it up because here we go, right? Legally, right? If a cop feels that there's probable cause for him to be afraid, or for him to fear for anybody else being in danger, he can legally kill anyone.
Absolutely.
Now,
This
it,
this we know.
here we go. Now, a lot of cops, right? And I'm not talking about like in cities like New York, Florida, or I would say California, but California got a real bad track record. They're not unaware of. I'm not even gonna say just black people because Spanish and white people are also killed just at a lot lesser rate. Is
Right.
like these officers, right? Know only what the media tells them or what their superiors tell them. Now,
Mm.
there is states, my dude, states that don't have black people in it, and I'm talking about like, let's go to Ohio. You're not gonna find black people there. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but they're such a rarity. They might as well be like a pin in a haystack.
It depends on what part of Ohio.
Exactly. We're so
Certain parts of Ohio, yeah, you won't see any black people there, man.
but the majority of Ohio, statistically, is like approximately 78% white people, and
Mm.
like the there's like what 12 or something percent that's literally other, and the rest of them is black people.
That's
Yes,
crazy. That's
yeah.
insane.
So
There's
any
literally no black people in Ohio.
pretty much. So you're looking at it. They're looking at it from the news telling them and other media outlets. These guys are criminals. They're dangerous. Sounds like somebody you know, and and that's what people believe because that's all they have seen.
That's all they've seen. Right.
And so we have these people that believe that all black people are dangerous. Right now,
Right.
that media is spread across the country.
And especially these are people that don't interact with black people at all.
No, because if they do, they would realize that we're practically the same shit. We're struggling the same way you do. It's just that we have it harder because of our skin color.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people's like, what? If there's anybody that's listening to this and you're just like, what? That's not true. Please, if contact me through any ways, leave a comment down below. I'm ready for any debate because, like, I'm telling you, my life is harder because our skin is different from yours, and allow me to give you an instance of white privilege that you possibly could understand, where
Right.
where a person can where a person can call his own car service to come pick them up, and a police car also comes along, and that person loses his life without doing anything wrong. There was a black man that his car broke down on the side of the freeway. He found a way to pull it over to the side that it's not blocking the roads. Police show up behind their car service, and the escalation happened. The guy didn't have a weapon on him. He wasn't threatening, but he got shot.
Mm.
I wish I had his name, and I don't want to tab out because I have a video running in the
Right.
background.
Yeah.
But the fact that that happened, you can't even have your car broke down. And
Yeah. You can't even have your car break down and wait for help
nope.
and have the cops come because they may very well kill you. But you see, you know what? One thing I don't want to do though is I don't want to beat on police. You know what I'm saying? And make it see because we're what we're talking about is the bad
Police
cops,
officers,
right? The ones that abuse their power, the ones that are not suited to be
police
cops.
officers.
So exactly.
Well, you know what's funny?
I think standards are too low.
Oh, I'm glad that you said that. You know the requirements to becoming a police officer is minimal, and it's
Anyone-
huh? Anybody could become a police officer, even if you suffered from a mental disability. As long as it's not like schizophrenia level, you could become a police officer. So
Absolutely.
if you
Can be-
yeah, like as long as you pass the physical exam, which I'm not gonna lie to you, actually dropped in how hard it used to be. Like
Right.
I wanted to be a police officer when I grew up, when I was a kid. You
Really?
know,
I never knew this.
yeah, for about 6 years. They told me that I needed to lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. I actually lost the weight and passed the physical exam. And
Really?
yeah,
I didn't even know you took the test.
yeah, I took that and the fireman test. I felt
Okay.
that people that saved lives were like cool as fuck. Like hey, you save a life, and they're able to live their life however they see fit. And I'm just personally I was so hell bent on being that person that helps somebody else. You know what?
Right.
You know what? Like maybe I'm doing it for my own ego, but when I help somebody, I feel really great about it. It's funny,
I
my
got you.
my phone ringing. I refuse to answer. I'm gonna have to call that person back later, son. But no, it feels good to help somebody. You wanna know why? Like at first, it's gratifying for yourself because you're like, hey, I helped somebody out. There's other things I could have been doing with my time, but I helped somebody else. It feels good. It feels super good.
That's it.
But then you watch your fruits of your labor pour out. Like I helped a young female pretty much last on her own. Her light bills as well as some of her other bills have been crushing her. She eventually got on her feet, and her and her child is now living a decent life.
This is a friend of yours.
Yes.
Okay.
And like it's funny. When I first met her, I didn't really know her too well. Didn't really like her. Thought she was a massive bitch. But she's just very forward, and a lot of and that's something that a lot of people don't have. They try to spare your feelings and all that other stuff. No, be straightforward because even if it hurts you, it's the facts, and that you can't argue it.
Right.
So, yeah, I didn't like her because I was a friendly person. To have to confront a person really bluntly like that, I wasn't mature enough to handle it. But I later came back and we became very close, and we're still good to this day. But point is we can't, when it comes to officers. I really feel that I have to blame all officers. I hate to do it. If you if Well, you said, well, it's only
Why,
because.
why
Well,
do you feel like you have to blame all officers?
I'm.
Because they don't they have to. Not only do they police. Go ahead, tell me. I don't want to
No,
jump on top.
no,
Yeah,
it's not really anything. Like right now, I'm currently like I'm pretty much security. If anything was to go wrong, even if it's from one of my other coworkers, we all suffer the consequences.
absolutely.
And so, as a cohesive unit, you should be watching out for each other.
Right.
So that means that like a unit that you actually have to work with, report to, and spread the information to your other coworkers. They're all
Right.
aware of what other people is doing. So you
Right.
telling me you can't stop somebody else, especially
That's what I'm
if
saying.
y'all on the same level.
That's potentially putting your job in jeopardy. Absolutely.
And we're not looking at it that way. A lot of people's like, oh, how dare you talk about police officers? Yeah, you guys are
Right.
shit.
You're
Like,
anti-police.
yeah, it's like if you know somebody's doing something wrong and you do nothing about it, you're an accomplice.
Absolutely.
Like, like it's not something that you should just dust off. Now I can understand if said person is like your superior, like the chief. Like you can slowly just keep tabs and find somebody that's above him, and I hate to say it, dry snitch on him and just keep it moving.
The chain of command.
Yeah, because he's corrupt.
Enforcement.
Now let me tell you something right now. I don't wanna make it sound like it's a good thing, but in the 90s and early 2000s,
Yep.
a cop would beat your ass if you were in the wrong area. You talk a bunch of shit, and they'll beat your ass, beat the fuck out of you. I would rather that than to lose my life.
Absolutely.
Let me take that ass whooping.
Nah, man. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying, but
It
I don't
shouldn't
want.
go down. Period.
Right. I don't want either one. You know what I'm saying? I want to go home in one piece, the way I left home. You know what I'm saying? I want to go home just like that, man.
No,
I don't want to go home broken bones. It's too much, man. It's a lot of craziness going on.
it's more than a lot of craziness. It's scary, man, because it lets you know, right, that in this society, your life is valued next to nothing.
Absolutely.
Um, and you want to know what? I feel like not
That's
a, huh?
that's what that's the climate that's in America right now. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as though they frown upon you speaking up against the killings of unarmed black men by police officers. It's almost they create this energy as though you're doing something wrong by speaking up about it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I definitely know what you mean. It's well, other than the fact that we are desensitized to pretty much everything,
Right.
makes it makes it kind of sad if you know what I'm saying.
Right. That's what's crazy about it.
It's a little scary because we're looking at it from a perspective where um nothing has changed for the last like 150 plus years.
Mm.
And I'm gonna say that in this way so people could properly relate to it, right? During the
You know what I think back to real quick. I don't mean to jump on top of what you said, but like the fact that you said nothing has changed. What year was Amadou Diallo killed? It was in like the 90s, right? Like 97.
97, yeah, it
Like,
was, yeah,
so more than 20 years later,
yeah, more than
same thing is still going on.
it's disgusting how it's still going
You
on.
know what? Though, tell you the truth, it would be irresponsible for us to sit here and act like things haven't changed.
You are absolutely correct.
It's not the same. We can't, let's not do that and act as though things haven't changed. Now, are they better?
They are slightly. I don't want to use the term slightly either. We
Right.
we
I, Cops deal with a lot of shit too, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like me personally, I couldn't be a cop. You know what I'm saying? I have too short of a fuse to be a cop. I know this. So I would never try to be a cop. You know what I'm saying? In order to be a cop, you need to be able to have a very, you know, I
You
don't
you
even
have
know.
to have a good temperament.
Yeah,
And
you gotta have temperament, and you have to be able to, you have to have good, great, phenomenal communication skills. And I think any situation, not any, but most situations can be calmed through
de-escalated.
words, de-escalated through words. You just have to know which buttons to push. Like I think cops need to learn,
De-escalation tactics.
yeah, better de-escalation tactics, but also I think they need to just learn how to I don't know, man. It's a tough job, man. Because to put yourself in a situation like that, you know what I'm saying? You walking up to a car, you don't know who's in it. You know,
And they're trying to make it back home safely to their
they try,
families.
everybody's trying to make it back home safely, man. Because if you were a cop, or if I was a cop, which, do you want to be the cop that got shot, or the cop that shot somebody?
I know it's not that cut and dry, but I understand what you're saying. But like there is not. The police have to be taught. Police have to be taught not to be threatened by us immediately. Did you know that a black person above a certain weight and a certain height is an automatic threat to you?
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, and if they're a constant threat, regardless of what clothes they're wearing, I could be wearing a suit and tie, right? Well, look like I just had a diploma in my hand and nothing else, and I would
Right.
be considered a threat for a cop to
Right.
fear for his life.
Absolutely.
So
Sure.
yeah,
Right.
I am not a small African American man.
You're not a small African American man. Not at all.
You know,
Exactly.
so like they say me and they say, oh well, he had to shoot him. Look how big that guy is.
Right. I had to shoot that nigga.
You know, like listen, I feel bad because of this is how it actually is, and a lot of people don't want to address it this way. They still defending cops like cops don't have choices. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh man, all cops are shit because they're not. You know, but
Absolutely.
one bad apple does ruin the bunch. It does that's a statement that exists.
And it's
Uh,
a fact. It's a fact. That's just what it is, though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's the part. That's a part of working, because the hold on. I had it in front of me. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you work with a group. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. If you got bad people in that group, that's a representation of your group.
Yeah. It's a
So right.
yeah. I'm sorry. I know that we whenever we get excited about a point, we both talk at the same time.
Right.
But
And
hmm
policing is a service, right? That
hmm
these people are supposed to be providing to the citizens of whatever community they're policing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's not it's not a I don't know what word to use. Help me out here. But it's not a like a symbol of like, you shouldn't dread the presence of a cop is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You should feel safe
Yeah,
when a
protect
right.
and serve of the
You
people.
shouldn't see a cop and then feel uneasy. You should feel like, all right,
Shit is about to be okay soon.
yeah, shit is about to be okay. Not damn, I might die or somebody might die. You know?
Yeah. I find it I find it funny that every time that like you ever hear the alarms go off outside your house and you notice that the alarms ain't going nowhere, like did the thought ever cross, like even though you didn't do anything?
Sirens? You mean sirens or
Yeah,
alarms? Like,
so, well, sirens.
Sirens.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, like the police stop in front of your house,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're like, "Yo, did I do anything wrong?" Instead
This
of
is
saying, "What?" Yeah.
you driving. You're driving to work, right?
Mhm.
You see sirens behind you. You start to think you did some shit wrong.
And you're praying to God that these dudes don't signal to pull you over, because they like, regardless of what you're doing, there's a chance that you will get killed anyway.
Right.
Let me tell you how bad it is, right?
But
Uh,
let me ask you
good.
to jump on top of you. But do you believe that people, human beings, us, me, you, men, women, children, are inherently evil?
No,
No. So
no.
you believe that generally people are good people. You believe that the average man is a good man. The average man will help you if you need help.
All right. On the last part, I'll have to break it down. But your first two statements, yeah, I think humans, right, naturally care about one and each other, like one another. They'll help. But one of our primal emotions, and why I'm using the term primal, because it's the base of who we are.
Okay.
Now we have two primals, right? One of them is fear, and the other one is hunger. The
Okay.
the later primals came a little bit later, and that's like anger and stuff, right? Now,
Right.
if everything is good in your life, you're not going to be aggressive to cause somebody to fear you.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, hunger is not just necessarily food anymore. It could be ambition, or however you want to interpret.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when if fear is one of your most basic instincts, regardless of what you do in life, you don't understand something, you're afraid of it, or considered cautious, depending on whoever you want to talk to for
Right.
semantics.
Right.
Short version: the cops, right? If they feel fear, their first instinct is to defend themselves,
Right.
and
And
that's
you think that's wrong?
yes and no.
Okay.
The reason why I feel that way is because I know people that are dangerous. I know people that jump the gun. It's kind of like the generation shift. You remember back in the days, you have a problem with somebody, we throw in these hands, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. Shit, sometimes maybe afterwards we'll play some ball together. You'll be on the opposite team, I'll bust your ass then, and you keep it moving. It's not like
Right.
that anymore. Like
Right. Shoot the fair one.
you shoot to kill immediately. It's not even, oh, I don't like you. Well, I'm gonna shoot you and your family.
Mm.
You
I'm
know,
willing.
and these cops are those that don't live in the neighborhood, because sometimes people talk a lot of shit and it won't escalate to a dangerous situation. You know, but the cops that don't live in this environment, they don't know any better. They just feel immediately threatened. So,
Absolutely.
so them taking that next step to escalate using a gun, I'm not that mad at them. What I'm mad about is that they're shooting to kill.
Right.
Now, I hate to sound cruel, but if there was a person at a decent range, right? He had a weapon that wasn't a gun. I would shoot him in his kneecaps. I know it sounds like really cruel to do so, but this guy's a threat. I don't need him running away, and whatever weapon he has, he can't get close to me to use it. I'll call for
Mm.
backup, and then we'll arrest him as a team.
Okay.
But these cops that's like unconfirmed, because there's just too much too many people that don't, and I repeat, that don't have a weapon, and these cops
Right.
are shooting them to death. If you don't find a problem with that, there's a lot of things we got to discuss. I know we ain't talking a long time, man.
No,
But
what'd you say? I'm sorry, I was reading. What'd you say?
yo, man, I hate people like you.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. The short version is
You got to make it. You got to make your points faster. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gotta make
Started-
it's a
started-
I started rambling.
Yes.
All right,
What were you saying?
I was saying that
Brought it right back to me, and there was a question that I had to acknowledge apparently. So let's go again.
uh like just for the gist of it, these people are getting killed with being unarmed.
Yes.
Like citi-
Civilians are getting killed.
citizens, children, men, unarmed shouldn't die. I'll
Shouldn't die.
I'll be real with you. If
I can agree with that. Absolutely. Is that the point you were making?
pretty much.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. If you're unarmed, you should not die. Now, if you are armed, then come
It's
on.
it's up in the air. What are you doing with that gun?
Yeah, we're not going to be irrational people here and and um and act like you know some of these people didn't have it, didn't bring it on themselves. But we're
No,
talking about cases of extreme police brutality that ended in the death of an unarmed citizen. That's what we're talking about.
you know,
Looking at these, I'm looking at a site about statistics about police brutality, and these stats are pretty
horrific.
much about in the U.S. But police brutality is a worldwide thing. If like I know we've both done some research on this topic, and if you look at the top 10 cases of police brutality, only about 3 or 4 of them are in the United States. And we're talking about the situations like Abner Lima, the most extreme cases. There's worse things going on overseas, man. And I'm talking about in countries that that it's not even a white and black thing. It's a police against the
Citizens.
citizen thing, and they killing people all over this planet. But this one statistic I want to give you real quick. It's kind of crazy to me. On average, in the United States of America, a police officer takes the life of a citizen.
Every 7 hours.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
We might be looking at the same site.
yeah.
That's,
I think it's like 42 different facts.
yeah, something like that. It's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
But that insane, man.
every
Every
7 hours, dude.
and we not and we can slowly start to transition from making it a black and white thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it took just people. Like like everyone's losing their lives. Like that's not something to just snark at. Regardless of your group of people, they're still your people.
Right.
A lot of people forget that. Like, yeah, there is quote unquote white, black, Hispanic people, but if you're an American, it's our people. A lot of people don't want to get something as simple as that. It's our
Right.
people. Like if I see somebody hurt, fall, or anything, I don't even look at your freaking skin color or where your culture might have came from. You're an American before you open up your mouth, and I will help you up.
Mm.
But there's been some.
You're you're a better man than me. I have to say.
Why you won't help somebody if they fell or anything?
No, that's not what I'm saying, man. It's, I, continue. I'll touch back on it later. I'll bring it back. I promise. I'll bring it back to what you just said about helping people.
Listen, man. Regardless of whatever culture or ethnicity, use the term ethnicity. It's actually correct. Ethnicity you come
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I don't share that perspective.
one.
I'm not like it. Yeah, that will play a part in whether or not I help someone. Yes, absolutely.
So what? You won't help a black person or a white person or whatever? Like, what are you saying?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. That it all depends.
I'm really curious. Depends on what.
I have a right. I have a right to say, I'm not gonna help just anyone or everyone. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. I'm not gonna say I would help everyone or I would help anyone. I don't know. Circumstantial. You know what I'm saying?
In the terms of like if something is like beyond a dangerous level for me, I'm not intervening directly. I'll call the cops or something like. Ha! I'll call the cops as long as I'm not there when they show up.
You see, and that's what it all comes back to. That's another point I was going to make. You know what I'm saying? Let something happen to your ass, you gonna call 911. Somebody steal your shit, you gonna call 911.
Nope, not
Somebody
me,
robs you, takes your shit, you gonna call 911.
sir. I can honestly tell you I wouldn't.
Punches you in your shit, you gonna call 911. Who you gonna call? You gonna just take it, or you
I
gonna?
would have to handle it on my own. But to say that I'm gonna call the cops, I'm not. I am not joking when I tell you that
So if
good.
so, you're walking to the train station to go home, and some random, God forbid this was to happen. You're walking to the train or whatever, and someone approaches you in a threatening manner and assaults you, knocks you to the ground, possibly knocks you out. What's your next move?
Well, if I'm knocked out, there's nothing I could do. If he knocks me down and I have the ability to still
You
get,
don't want a police report. You don't want the police to do an investigation. You don't want them to go back to the area to ask questions, to see who saw what, to see if there's any possible surveillance video. You don't want any of that. This is what you're telling me. And I think this is what let me not assume something else. Is that what you're saying? That you won't want that?
I'll be honest, man. If a situation like that went down, right, and it was an altercation and I didn't lose anything, I wouldn't intervene with the cops.
That's deep.
And that's just 100. Like if something important from me was stolen during that time, to get it back, I would have to use the authorities.
But why? Why would you not? Why? Why would you take that perspective?
You wanna know why? Because there's too many cases, even this month, where a cop was called to investigate a situation, and his trigger hand in Florida just happened to kill 2 black people. What if I risked that chance, right? Because let's say he took my state ID, right?
So, okay.
Like the thief stole my state ID. You telling me for a state ID that I could go get back, cancel the previous number because each card has a number. I can't just go to the DMV and get it back. You tell me I gotta possibly pray to God that I don't run into that jackass that just has an itchy trigger finger. That's what I'm talking about. My fear for my life is greater than my possessions. And as much you could probably disagree, but unless whatever they took from me was important, like if I had pocket change and they took it, have it. If they took my credit card, I'll cancel it in a second. I'll get a new one. Right. And there's nothing on me that I feel that would require. Good.
No, go ahead. I don't want to jump over what you're saying.
I don't want to have a cop intervene in something that I could replace. Yes, it might be a hassle, but it's kind of like a guy hands you a bag, right? He says, "Yo, in this bag is $1 billion," right? But there's like 1 or 2 poisonous snakes out of 100. Now the poison immediately kills you in seconds, and there's no antidote around or anything. Would you take that chance? Even though it's a 2% chance for you to not get bit by this snake, would you risk it? Would you risk your life for that money?
No. Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like that's an extreme example.
I honestly, out of all the cops, more than 2% are known for a very extreme behavior, and when they do get quote unquote chastised from it, they just go to a different department somewhere else. They don't get banned from becoming a police officer.
They don't get reprimanded like they should. Well, I mean, now we got to take it back to what we spoke on earlier, because we said we don't want to make this a thing where we're harping on all police officers, man. So I don't share the viewpoint that the majority of cops are bad.
Oh no, I know.
Honestly, that the majority of cops are good.
Oh no, without a doubt. I actually agree with you, but I don't want to risk it.
Comes back to what you said about people in general being inherently good people, not evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you all have a conscience. You know what I'm saying?
We all know right from wrong. It's kind of like how you could watch 2 children play of different ethnicities, and you think it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. They're taught to hate.
Right, because they don't. Right, kids don't have that in them. That's something that they grow up and they learn from parents, friends, teachers, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they teach those children.
Kids, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
But also, you want your kid to be well aware of what what's going on, around them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to be oblivious to potential detriments. You know what I'm saying? Things like racism is a serious thing, man. We got to be aware of it. We got to teach your kids how to
conduct yourself around officers and other
yeah.
people.
Well, that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, neither of us have any kids yet, but that's something that you have to instill in your child, because like there's a lot of things that I can sit here and I can say, I mean, you can really never say this or that will never happen to you, but there's certain things that we can sit here and say, yo, I would never do this, I would never do that. But
You don't know.
I can say that I have a good ability to, because I really truly believe that I know how to conduct myself in situations like that. Police officers, you know what I'm saying, and how to be, and how to, but there's no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the cop's energy as well. You know what I'm saying? You can be the best. You can be in your best behavior, but that cop can turn into something else. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's too, it's a lot of variables going on with that. And the point I was trying to make is that I consider myself to be someone who is a professional enough in the way I conduct myself in day-to-day life that I won't have to, I won't get caught up in a situation like that. But you never know, because like I said, it's variables involved. It's not always my energy. My energy, that's I can always guarantee that my energy is not the energy that's going to cause this shit to go left. If it does happen, it's the cop that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be one, why, that energy too is something that we got to work on. We got to work on that as a people. You can't always be, why, I mean,
It's unfair.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you got, like you said, is that 2% worth it? Is that 2%, acting out, lashing out worth it? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to leave you alone because you're acting like that. That is only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
So,
regardless if they're in the wrong or not, when you're dealing with authority, you have to act appropriately. Now, yeah, I'm not gonna just I might have a disdain of police, but if a police officer who I know is armed approaches me for whatever such reason, I'm not gonna sit there and be obnoxious or even disrespectful to a cop, knowing that even if they do spare my life, that the charges could have gone from a warning to something a lot lighter or some of the cases. And the threat of death is always around the corner. So for me to just sit here and just be like, oh well, these officers, I'm talking shit to them because they're being unjust. That's their prerogative. If they choose to act that way, you have to comply. That's how the law of the land works.
Wow.
I was watching this thing. It kind of relates to the subject. I was watching this guy named Kane, right? Now Kane is a black guy, and he had some really extreme ideas. But
Kane, what is he on? What is he, a YouTuber? What is he? Who is he?
He stopped really doing YouTube heavy, but yeah, he's a YouTuber. He pretty
Kane. Okay.
Yeah. I think his tag name is Hot Damn I Rock. But
Yeah, okay, I know exactly who. Yeah, Kane, something like that. Yeah, I remember that YouTube page. Right.
Yeah, hey, the cops outside your door, bruh.
Yeah, they're coming for me. Man.
Yeah, they're coming for you, son. He's like, you're talking about us, you motherfucker. No, but
yeah, that's actually an ambulance, boy.
Nah, same difference, bro. One got to get called for the other,
one usually leads to the other.
Yeah, but for the most part, one of his ideas that seemed extreme was every time, right, that that a police officer unjustly kills anybody, but he was talking about black people, right? That they should just as a collective group go to his house and collect his family and kill one of his kids in front of him. Because he said that way they learn the value of a life. Because a lot of police officers say, well, the police force got me, which is bad, regardless if they unjustly killed somebody or not. You know,
I
huh?
I for an eye.
An eye for an eye, because it's the only way they could learn. If you feel like you could get away with killing somebody, right? uh,
I don't know if I agree with that.
what eye for eye? Well, yeah, violence only begets violence. It's just facts. History
Right.
shows that. You know, but
Right.
he said that one or two things would happen, right? That person would be a lesson to everybody else. Now, that person might take it a step further and find the people that killed them, and they will turn into some action movie in Hollywood.
Right.
But
That's that perspective is irrational. That's not a rational perspective. What he says that's not rational. You know what I'm saying? But continue.
yeah, he was making the point that if our people have to die, right? So will theirs. Now,
So
the funniest thing about it is that statistically, we will run out of people before them any day. We only make up 17% of the population.
you said we will run out of people.
Just with that theory, we run out.
You play that eye for an eye game, you niggas will die out faster than us. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it will turn out to be.
Simple math. It's not hard.
It's super simple math, right? But
Simple fucking math, man.
but there was a time where I actually got to talk to him. Of course, it was over like YouTube messages,
Mm.
and I said, you know, that sounds great, and I kind of brought up the statistic numbers. He was like, yeah, but it's a collective group. We didn't earn our freedom. We convinced some white people that have power that we
You
deserve our
said we
freedom.
didn't earn our freedom?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
like,
What does that mean, Kanye?
oh wow, I'm Kanye now. Allow me to explain. We
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
earn our freedom on our own.
Please.
On our
We
own, sir.
earn our freedom on our own.
No, we
What does
didn't.
that-
Well,
You gotta elaborate, brother. You gotta break
all
it
right.
down.
Let's break it down. So, um,
How did we get our freedom? Let's start from there. How did we get our freedom?
all
'Cause you
right.
said we didn't earn it.
Yeah, we didn't earn it by ourselves. We really didn't.
Okay, Kanye.
All right. So, all right. Let's break it down. So, um, during the Civil War was not for our freedom at all.
Absolutely not.
All right. So pretty much, the North made some great ideas. We'll set you free if you come fight for us.
Mhm.
That was not by our hand. During 1964, that's when we put our full force forward, and
Okay.
we made our changes so we can not be segregated and have equal rights. That's
Okay.
that's us. But it wasn't us just by ourselves. It wasn't just a collective group of black people moving forward. It took us and other people to back us. So when I told you that we didn't do anything by ourselves, we legit didn't do anything by ourselves. So when I told you that we earned our freedom, it's not just black people, Hispanics, and or minorities. A large portion of white people also helped us make that progressive movement.
Okay.
Okay, what? You can definitely argue if you see fit.
I have no argument to your thesis.
To my thesis.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think that we as a people by ourselves made our progress?
That's not what I said.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It's a lot deeper than that.
It-
You know what I'm saying?
so-
It's not as 1, 2, 3 as you made it seem.
Oh,
You know,
I'm lightly talking about it.
If but that's a whole nother topic, man, for a whole nother discussion. Let's save that one
All
because
right.
you don't want to. You have to be careful what you say. But I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you have to be careful how you say certain things. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but for the most part, like,
What you're saying, it's not like you didn't make your point. You made your point, but I just didn't like the way it was said. But I guess you were making a point. So
yeah, I
you know,
wasn't. This is not for an extended conversation. You
Right.
you asked me to explain myself. I said short because it was a little off topic.
Right.
And
But yeah, continue.
so
You,
I'm yeah.
yeah, back to what you were originally saying about the help me out, man. What were you saying?
I'm not gonna lie. I slightly got sidetracked.
Off track. Yeah, you were all right. So go back to that statement. What's the next what was the next word after that?
I guess for the most part because it's not a prepared conversation.
All
So
right. So what? It's not a prepared conversation. We're just talking.
yeah, we're just having a conversation. But
So what were you trying to say though? That you know, okay, you said black people we didn't earn our freedom on our own.
yeah,
So what?
by ourselves. Well, because we right don't have power like that as a
So
group of
what
people.
you're saying is that cops are not going to stop killing us
They're not.
if we just continue fighting by ourselves.
Yeah, we need to fight with everybody else. It's not it's not something that we could do by ourselves. It,
So okay, I understand what you're saying now. So okay, I mean,
listen. Let me tell you something. Some of them.
stop. The killer has to stop the killing. Yeah, definitely, I agree. Yeah, we can't, we as a people saying stop killing us that's not enough.
That's not enough. We need actual backing because you have police chiefs telling their subordinates to kill black people. I know this
Mm.
isn't the first time that you heard that. Like that, there's many police chiefs across the country who's like, well, kill these black people without a second thought. And
Mm.
I'm like legit. You know what? I feel like I need to like pull up an actual case so it doesn't sound like I'm bullshitting. It
Yeah,
actually, a lot of police chiefs. I don't want to say a lot. There have been police chiefs that have been telling their subordinates to kill black people.
pull it up. Pull up an example.
I'm
Pull something up. Let me go over one or two of these
statistics.
statistics. These statistics are crazy, man. You know? And to actually verify them, that's a whole another ball game. But check this out. Where you live when it comes to police brutality, where you live matters when it comes to police brutality. If you're an African American / black individual, you are 7 times more likely to be killed by a police officer in Oklahoma than if you lived in Georgia.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen that.
So ain't that crazy?
That's not crazy. That's scary.
69% of the victims of police brutality in the United States who are African American / black were suspected of a non-violent crime and were unarmed. 69% of the victims of police brutality were either non-violent or unarmed and unarmed. It's crazy, man.
Real quick. Just
97% of the cases of police brutality that were tracked in 2015 did not result in any officer involved being charged with the crime.
yeah.
Like, how does that not enable bad behavior?
Well, they're protected by the system.
This
Uh,
is, but
and
it just enables them to continue with that type of that energy.
real quick, only to assist what I was saying. Todd Shaw, right, of Kentucky, assistant police chief, told this officer to shoot innocent black teens.
Todd Shaw is his
Yeah,
name?
Todd
Okay.
Shaw.
Todd.
Yeah, the former assistant police chief of Prospect told a Louisiana Metro Police recruit that if he catches juveniles smoking marijuana, he should shoot them if they are black.
Mm, that's deep.
So, and it's funny because this is just one of many where police chiefs are saying kill black people daily. Like
Kill, kill, kill black people, and we got you. Don't worry.
yeah, and there's nothing gonna happen.
We'll be all right.
And you want to know what they've proven it.
Proven it.
Since police they commit They commit more murders than people do in Chicago. Let's just throw that out there real quick. They actually get like we in Chicago kill ourselves quite a bit. And African Americans against African Americans. We actually do kill each other quite a bit. Very high numbers. But police kill as high, if not a little bit higher, on average, and not just for black people. Of course, us 5 times higher to be pulled over, but 3 times likely more to be killed. So yeah, it's not unbelievable. It's a very scary fact.
Right.
You know, like our lives is in danger. You know.
42% of African American. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Continue.
No. I make points short because I know we're both looking up stuff as we're talking.
I started reading out loud by accident. Go ahead.
Nah, continue talking. I made my point. Like you had asked me, like, yo, police chiefs don't really do this, and I gave you one of many.
No, I didn't say they don't really do that.
No,
I just give you an example.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I thought you was implying that that can't be true.
Never that, man.
Oh, okay.
That's not. Yeah, I would never, imply that something like that ain't true, man. I know how they give it up, so I know that shit is definitely actual factual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little bit scary, but I'm gonna be real with you, man. The more a person knows, the more unhappy they are. I was looking at a documentary of this very smart person. They said ignorance truly is bliss. That's why the more unintelligent a person is, the happier they seem to be if their circumstances are not bad. Like say like we all lived a certain life. We had a decent paying job, and everything else is pretty much a normal statistic. You know, we got food, internet, and income, right? But one of the people that has less intelligence.
Food, and internet are necessities.
In this day and age, yes. It didn't always used to be that way, but
food,
and internet.
It goes like this. It goes like this. Air. I'm sorry. It goes like this. It's air, food, water, internet, right?
You could go without food longer than you could go without water. So it's water, food.
So it's water, food,
internet.
Okay. So wait. So it's air,
water, food, internet.
Internet. Okay.
And believe it or not, shelters last.
So going without air can kill you. Going without water can kill you, and going without food can kill you. So what you're implying is that going without internet can kill you.
Going without internet can definitely kill your social life because
not really. I think it'll enhance it.
Really? How so?
How not? It makes you communicate with people personally rather than, ask questions, ask about the news, read about it, speak about it, other than, going online.
But what if I told you that people that have dedicated jobs can't do that, and because minimum wage is so low, people
I can't. What do you mean? Have dedicated jobs? They can't do what?
They can't have a quote unquote social life.
Well, then you're doing something wrong.
Not really. What happened?
You gotta have that. I mean, you should be able to have a social life that's not all about being online.
Not saying it specifically like there's no other choice, but the internet social life is convenient from internet purposes. And the reason why I say that is that everybody doesn't have time to travel. And I'm relating that to the job thing because a lot of people work multiple jobs. So their social time to go out and do stuff is very small.
It's very limited. So okay. So going out with the group of friends at a bar or whatever, what is the online equivalent of that?
I guess if you want to go that far, it would probably be chat rooms, but it's not the same. But it is a social life, even if it's a unfavorable one.
Internet, but the internet is not replacing that though. It's not replacing
spending.
going out and interacting with your friends. You know what I'm saying? It's not replacing that.
Mm,
I don't see how it possibly could. The internet is a tool for you to use to do many things. One of them is meeting people that you might not be able to meet. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Networking, things like that. But you made it seem as though you can work from home, go on the internet, that be your social life, and and don't never leave home.
I don't think I was implying that, but to make
That's
a
what I'm
point.
trying to mean.
No, wait. By the way, people have done that. People do that.
And those people limit themselves, man.
I think they're
So,
limited because of their circumstances, not because of their choices.
as far as what though? I mean, if
As far as a social life, like perfect example, most people don't get to go out and spend time with their family. Clashing of schedules as well as other things prevent them from doing so.
okay. So
So
how does the internet fix that?
what
It
happened?
does. How does the internet fix that? It doesn't.
Actually, it's a
If anything, it could be a detriment to it. The internet adds to you not having time to be with your family.
uh
That's
it,
how I look at it. I mean, help me, see it from a different perspective,
well,
or see exactly what you mean when you say internet enhances social life.
yeah, it definitely enhances for those people that don't have time, and now I'm gonna pull specifically from certain places and certain situations and going right. So
Right?
if you don't have time to do something, right? Say you want a significant other, right? There's two ways of
Mhm.
going about it. You could go real life, quote unquote, go to a bar, probably pick somebody up if that's what you're looking for, right?
Okay.
Or you could go to a dating website, which that you could do during your breaks at work instead of going to a bar during your breaks at work. It
Okay.
enhances certain parts of your social life that you can't do on a normal situation. Perfect example. Me and
I
you,
understand.
our schedules clash.
I
Huh?
got it. You said dating,
Huh?
pretty much.
Well, not
I,
just
I,
it.
that's an example.
That's an
Dating,
example.
right? That's part of your social life, and the internet enhances that. All right, now it's coming together. Now it makes a little bit more sense than it did initially,
Oh,
because initially it sounded kind of crazy.
nah, brother. I think very thoughtful when we're having these conversations, especially live on air.
Right.
So,
So what were you about to say?
well, and the second part would be us. We're a perfect example of how the internet enhances us.
Right.
Our socials. Me and you, our schedules literally clash. Right now, I'm tired from doing a lot from going to work and running errands. I'm pretty
Right.
sure you did the same. Instead of us
Absolutely.
meeting up somewhere where we both pretty much just chilling so we could get back home and rest, we're having this podcast where it's a convenience for both of us.
There you
And
go.
and we made this connection through Facebook, which is social media. That's
But
what
do
I'm.
you
Go ahead. I'm saying that we can definitely do it outside of social media. We could definitely chill, but like with us having to do so much and having such busy schedules, it's harder for us to link up physically and talk.
right? The internet.
It makes it easier because while
Internet.
we're on the run doing our errands, we can still converse. Wait, converse? Yes, because conversate is not a word, guys. Let's just throw that out there. We
It's not a word.
yeah, we can converse as well as doing our things. That's convenience of internet.
Right.
So that I'm not saying that it's for everything because believe it or not, what happened?
Who's that?
Oh no, I thought you said something.
I said, "Jeez, I'm listening to you."
Yeah, but for like other things that's like serious, like if you're trying to find a mate, you're gonna have to find time for them physically because relationships that just goes over the internet tend not to do as well as relationships that you are physically interacting with another person.
Right.
And I'm not saying relationships in the
What
terms
did
of
you just say? You said internets that are online or what?
convenient.
They are more convenient than actually meeting, being
Oh,
physically.
I'm sorry. All right. When I use the term relationships, I'm talking about any relationship between two people. Like you, my.
Yes, any relationship. That's what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, not just a romantic one. Romantic ones, you can use the internet to start it, but you need that physical interaction. It's a lot harder to do just a internet relationship.
Absolutely.
It's significantly hard. I actually tried. It was a nice, beautiful woman, and we clicked, man. It was like instantaneous and stuff. But there's
But
a there's a drastic difference between us. And I'm
of
talking
course,
about yeah, I'm talking about distance too. Like it's crazy. But somebody that you could talk to who makes you think and want to do more and do better.
right.
I shit you not, man. Like talking to her, I got a promotion at work.
Mm.
We
Do you still continue to talk to her or no?
we're in a very questionable spot, but
Okay.
for a legal, if we're talking legit, yeah, but it's not as significant as I want it to be. You know what I mean? Because
I got
regardless of how far or how well it's going between us, where we could just talk any day about anything, I I need more. But right now, my working and getting my stuff together comes first before I can make that trip.
you. I got you. I
So
got you, brother.
yeah, so that's
I-
yeah, that's pretty much what that is between us right now.
Okay.
So yeah, for the most part, the internet is convenient. It's
Yeah.
convenient for people that don't have the time to do so. Now, if you wasn't working two jobs or working a job that demands a lot of your time, then you physically going to go to meet somebody or go do something for normal social interactions is not a problem. It'll be great. It's like, oh man, I get off at break at X and X time. We could link up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, shit, me and you tried to link up for like years, man.
exactly.
And our schedules just says, nah, bruh.
And let's not lose sight of the point that we a family. You know.
Yeah, we could be family all we want. Just like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. As a matter of fact, I'm not even saying that on the air. I'll talk to you afterwards about that. But for the most part, like,
No, but the point that I'm making is that yeah, it's just I'm just making that point that we are family. That
yeah,
doesn't have to do with anything.
no, that doesn't do shit. You can still be a shitty person. You can still hate me, and we could still be family. Doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
So
I'm just making the point that we are.
yeah, definitely.
I
Um,
got you.
did you see my previous podcast? I was interviewing Monica and somebody else on the thing. Did you listen to that one?
I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
All right, it was kind of interesting, but Monica's mic was a little too unprepared for the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't get to finish, or
Nah, we still did it, and she got loud at some points, but for the most point, it was too low.
it was too long? Okay.
Yeah.
It's about motherhood, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That was three people. It's good when you have a third person. You
the
know what I'm saying?
bounce an idea off of, and
Yeah, bounce
I,
ideas off everyone.
I thought you had a I thought you had a guest. That's all. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, but you know how that goes, man. You gotta give
Uh,
people
you got to give
ideas.
a year update before they could do so.
Yeah, you gotta let them know,
He's like,
we
listen.
fans. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though.
I
Man.
mean,
Eventually,
yeah, I actually it sounds kind of funny, man. But
I, I'll, next time I'll be on your podcast is when you have that show about religion.
oh man,
And then
real quick,
we gotta have like four people on that show.
honestly, I got three.
Oh, well, count me in. I'm number four.
Nah, you're actually three.
Oh, I'm three. Oh shit.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation about this before before this podcast.
Wait, is that next? That's gonna be your next podcast?
I don't know. I usually get inspired for a podcast next week.
All
Like
right, so let me know, man.
uh
I'm with it.
I already got three people. I guess a fourth person would make a lot of sense unless I'm counting myself as the fourth person.
Right.
Then
You gotta put yourself as one of the people.
because religion is a really crazy topic, man. And quite frankly, I don't want, huh?
It's a bugged out topic, but it's also a very, very good topic.
Let me tell you something right now about religion, right? The good parts of religion is that it gives somebody hope.
Yes.
I'm not gonna shit all over religion, because religion, a lot of people take so much offense that I would say something about religion, but I'm not talking about your spirituality. Religion and
Right.
spirituality is two different things. Religion is corrupt as shit. But spirituality, a relationship between you and a higher being, I'm not crapping over that. I'm crapping over your religion. You don't
Right.
need a book. You don't need a religion to be spiritual to the one that created you.
Right. Absolutely.
You really don't. I was talking. You know what? That's gonna be a good conversation. I
Right.
should make that the next podcast. To be
Let's save
honest,
that. Let's save it, man.
yeah, because I started like diving into it. You know, when your mind smiles a little bit because it's intriguing, and then you like get into it. You're like, nah, let's hold off for a little bit.
Yeah. Hold off a little bit. We don't
Yeah,
want to get
uh,
off track.
we don't want to do that too much. Um, what I am gonna say though is, what do you think? What do you think should be done so police brutality drops? Because it's really high numbers, bro. Like above the 70s, man,
Yeah, it's insane. We have to raise the standards
of
of what
accountability.
police officers, and whatever that may be, raising his salary. I don't care. I don't care what you pay a cop. You can pay a cop $250,000 a year. Man. They deserve it, but you have to be.
Accountable.
Yeah, you have to be qualified, man. You have to be able to handle situations, many situations, many. You just got to be better prepared. Man, I feel like cops are unprepared. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Actually,
It's
I
not right. Man.
I actually think that cops are prepared, but they're being prepared in the wrong ways.
They're prepared. They're not prepared.
Oh no, I definitely.
If the first thing you do at a traffic stop, is to pull your gun for a brake light, then you're not prepared. You're not as prepared as you could be. You could have been better prepared. However prepared they are, it can get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what were you about to say?
No, it's more
Get
like
track.
no. Honestly, getting off track is fine, cause that's how further inspiration comes. Sometimes
Right.
things go real left and then real white, haha, real right, and then it snaps back to the middle. What you want to do is you don't want to just, if me and you having a conversation, we don't just want to talk about one spectrum of it because that's how we relate to it. People see it in a different way. And so, like when people get off topic, I'll snap it back if it gets outrageous. We start talking about the Space Force, which I'm laughing about, by the way. We still have homeless people on our streets, and we want to worry about putting a $15 trillion investment into the Space Force. So yeah, but no, for the most part, snapping it back to the conversation is part of a conversation. If something comes up later, that means that that's something that could be spoken of for a later podcast. You could review it. It's all recorded. It's on Facebook. It's also being streamed right now at Twitch /rantadvice.tv, where you could just watch it live.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong with talking about a bunch of different things on a podcast, even if it's not directly related to what we started off as.
Exactly.
You want to know why? Because say we talk about a subject, right? We could talk factually about a subject all day. This podcast would have been finished 45 minutes ago. But we invested our feelings, and our feelings that's being backed by something else. Because we could
Right.
read statistics off of a page all we want. This would have been a shorter conversation.
Would have been a shorter conversation. That's the key, though. But then it's all about getting better, though. This is something that you just started, and it's all about growth, man. By next year, by December, you're going to be better at it. It's going to be different. So, at this time next year, consistency is the key, man. If we stay consistent with it, it's only you're gonna naturally get better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, man. I'm always looking forward to getting better at a situation, man. That's just like this podcast is something I did because I wanted to. It's not like, yo, I'm doing this for money. I do this because I like talking to people. You know, like
Absolutely.
it's very similar to change my mind by this guy. I forgot his name. He's a real jerk though, but he does this podcast pretty much where he goes he names a statement and he says change my mind. And his approach is just so aggressive that if we're like having this conversation about police brutality and I'm like, yo, bro, the police are correct, and I'm telling you my reasons that that uh that police doing their jobs appropriately, and you're telling me, well, as a human, just relate to me. They shouldn't be killing people as much. I tell you, nah, it doesn't matter because what I say is right. It's not a human thing. They're doing their job. They have to kill people. And statistics show that a cop is fearing for his life, so he has the right to kill people. That's the type of person that I don't want to be. If me and you having a conversation about police brutality, I want to hear your point, not to fight you on it, but
Right.
just so we can have greater understanding. This guy, he's kind of a jerk. I
Absolutely.
I like it's a conversation, not somebody talking at somebody. I hate that. Don't
Right.
talk at me, bro. Like, use my name in the sentence. Like
Absolutely. Right. Speak to me as
as an equal person.
an equal person, right?
Oh man,
A human being. I got you.
you wanna good?
Dismiss to speak to you any other way.
Yeah,
You know.
I
What you could do is dismiss the person that you're trying to have a conversation with.
what shouldn't happen in the first place. There's no reason for why me and you can't have a conversation as equals. Even if I'm not prepared with all of it, help me like with information, help me to understand your perspective, maybe even change my mind. But don't be a dick about it. We're having a conversation. I'm not a child. You're not a child. Let's not play that game. You know. But here's another thing about police brutality.
Check.
Good.
Listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just came across this thing that I read. I believe this is what that I read prior, but actually this is not it, because this is in regards to the Eric Gardner police officers and no one being charged. But it says here on July 16th, 2008, NYPD Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Bryan wrote a letter to the Department of Justice stating that the NYPD will pursue disciplinary actions against officers involved in the justice and officers involved if the Justice Department does not file any charges by the end of August. And like I was saying earlier, that I'm pretty sure I saw an article about that officer, Daniel Pantonio, whatever his name is, being brought up on some type of charges. I know I saw it. I just wanted to, put that out there. That
I feel like I should openly challenge it because as far as I know, he didn't get charged. Like, yeah, there was charges filed against him, but he wasn't charged. If you know what I'm saying. Like, he's not suffering any kind of reprimand.
He was charged. I'm telling you, man. I saw it. Look, Justice Department charges Daniel Pantelio for Eric Gardner death. I'm reading it right here in front of me.
Is
NYPD files charges against Daniel. Hold on, let me read it to you. You want a source? Hold on. It's called the Daily News.
bro, that's our newspaper.
That's our news. Daily.
It's called the Daily News. Like,
Yeah, NYPD files charges against Daniel Pantelio, officer in Eric Gardner case. So, NYPD is actually charging one of their own with. I don't know what they're charging with though. That's something I will have to investigate.
It sounds like manslaughter because anything less would be freaking a
That's what
joke.
I'm saying. Right, right, right. Exactly. It would have to be manslaughter. You know,
Yeah,
we'll, we'll see what happens. We'll be able to,
you look.
like I said though, man. As time goes on, we'll get better at researching these topics.
Yeah. Like I have like some light notes, but we're reading from the same source.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know, man. This we're slightly off. Well, really off topic. You live near the airport?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So, um, pretty much back on topic. I don't know what to think of Eric Gardner, bruh. Like the whole situation that went down shouldn't have progressed at all. And I find it weird that the justice system takes a very long time to charge people when everything is when
When everything's on camera.
yeah, everything is so blatant. But let a guy of any color be in the wrong, and they're immediately like arrested and charged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, like I think our standards for what cops should be and what citizens have the right to, it's very freaking polar opposites if you want to go in that direction. It's not. Life is not fair. I get it. Totally get it. Life is not fair, but I don't feel that a complete unjust situation that's fully recorded, released to the public, everybody knows about it, and a cop is still getting off for killing somebody, regardless of their ethnicity.
Scotch free.
Scot free, like still got their job. Oh no, they're getting suspended with pay for three weeks. Are you kidding me? That's a vacation.
It's a vacation, man. Unbelievable. That's that's what it is sometimes, man. Unfortunately.
I think it's a scary interaction that we the people have set up, where police officers are so protected, but the people that's made to protect the people are so free to do whatever they want. You know, like that's why certain people like our president, he can literally make statements at a rally that he could walk up to somebody on Fifth Avenue, shoot them in the face, and he will not suffer any repercussions.
Any repercussions? Yep.
And right now, technically, he probably can.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's,
he,
that's scary.
yeah, that's real scary because we all know that he has a very low temperament. Like he like say I had an argument with him, he could pull out a gun and shoot me because he felt threatened. Crazy.
Like that case in Florida with the
Stand your ground law.
in your ground law.
You talking about with the I don't have names on memory, but I know there was a white guy that was harassing a lady and her child in the parking lot because they parked in the handicap. Yeah, the handicap section. Now the father was in the store grabbing some quick groceries, and
Right.
yes, he was wrong for being in the parking in the handicap spot, but he wasn't going to be there for more than 3 minutes. And it actually on camera showed him coming out the store less than 3 minutes. But
Right.
a white guy immediately came up, started harassing the family. The dude was like, "Get away from my wife." And the
Right.
dude was not complying, and he was yelling threats at the woman. He went over and pushed the guy. And because he
Right.
pushed the guy pulled out his gun, fired 4 shots into his chest while the son looked at him. He ran into the store with his son to call 911, and a child watched his father bleed out and die.
Yep. Watched his father collapse and die.
And now the guy that shot him multiple times, note that the guy was unarmed. He could literally have threatened him with a gun. I would have even accepted a pistol whipping, but to shoot someone in front of their child 4 times
Yeah.
for you being pushed. Now, if he followed up, he didn't even follow up. He just pushed him to get away from the car. Like, stop harassing my wife. That's a woman. You pussy. Like, you gonna sit there and harass a woman? Are you serious?
Right.
It,
Unreal, man. That situation is crazy, man.
but that guy, according to standing your ground law, their police chief was like, yeah, well, this. I hate to exasperate it this way, but this fucking nigger came up to assault this guy.
Right,
He shouldn't have assaulted this guy, and
right.
that's why he died. He died because he shouldn't
He
have.
should justify. He shot him because he was assaulted. Like, this is what they'll tell you. But they don't know he caused the assault. They lose sight of that.
They they they
White
they, they
people
don't.
policing everything.
Yeah,
You know
it's a little sad it's come so far, man.
that situation had to go down like that, man. But this is why I don't know, man. You try to ask yourself how you would react in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be real. If I was the one pushed to the ground,
Yeah,
I like even if I had access to a gun, because I'm not against guns whatsoever. Guns don't kill people. People do. I'm not anti-gun. I do feel like we need stricter laws on people that has had reported medical problems, mental problems,
yeah,
having access to guns. And
exactly.
and that's pretty much because I'm a gamer, right? I play games. I love games. Games is what I do in my free time whenever I'm not doing anything else. It, to have somebody kill, you heard? I think it was also in Florida, where what is wrong with Florida, bro? Where a guy just came from a gaming championship that he lost. He got angry and
Shot
started,
everybody,
huh?
and shot everybody up, man.
Yeah, he shot everybody up, bro. Like, how dare you? Now people is gonna be like, oh, well, violence is directly correlated to video games. We're gonna shut
Video
this
game.
down. Like,
Yeah,
no. Anybody that tells you that they play video games and it's been reported that people use video games as an outlet from when they are pissed, that guy has mental issues. So you can't correlate the two. It's not fair.
you he's that guy that did that. What he did was his true nature came out. And it's a shame that you know how many people died.
Uh, I will cross that right now. I'm gonna look.
But yeah, it's a shame that people had to die. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there were signs. You know what I'm saying? There had to be. But they were ignored because this is what they do.
This we live in a world where we need to have discussions on a daily, right, with each other. What I think is a major problem is that, and for police officers, for civilians, for everybody in the United States, we don't talk to each other. What happens is we find a group of people.
Give me 1 minute, brother. Give you a little monologue. I can hear you, but give me 1 second, all right?
All right, no doubt.
I'm, I'm muting myself for like 2 seconds.
Do you think? So pretty much, I don't feel like we find a group of people that's like-minded like us, and when we find a group like us, we tend to stay in our group where we share similar ideas. But that's just a confirmation amongst our group. I feel like we need to talk to each other. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. They're warring with each other, and they're making us look like idiots. Because regardless of their squabbles that they have going on, we're the ones that really pay for it. Like there's no real communication between us. And the sad part about it is, unless we take that moment to actually talk to each other about all subjects, right? We can't
Right.
really find that understanding and compassion for one another. Because, if you're against somebody for whatever theories or anything that they're going against, if something happened to them, you don't feel that bad for them. Well, we need compassion. We need compassion and understanding so we could grow as a people together. I don't
Right.
need you to grow in your group by yourself. That's how KKK and extreme Antifa people and the alt-right is created. When you
Right.
find a group of people that have like minds, but they stick to themselves and they go extreme in their beliefs, we the ones that suffer from it. Antifa goes around and go to Republican rallies, right? And Antifa is far left, right? They
Absolutely.
They go to rallies and they unjustly beat up people that don't agree with their policies.
Yes,
Now,
exactly.
the majority of these people are millennials, you know,
Absolutely.
and these millennials, they convince themselves that what they're doing is right, so they continue to do that. No, Antifa, you are not correct. A group like yours should not even exist, to be honest. And the same thing for the alt right. The alt right is filled with a lot of neo Nazis and a bunch of like racist people, but they're a group of like-minded people that has probably never had a real interaction with somebody outside of their group.
Yep.
So like a perfect example. I'm so bad with names, and I feel like I gotta step this up. For the most part, there's a guy that infiltrated the KKK, and I'm not talking about the Ron guy that they made a movie about, but there's a young black man. He infiltrated
They
the
made
K.
a movie about it, brother.
Huh?
They made a movie about it.
No, not that guy. There's another guy recently. He went to a couple KKK meetings just to sit down and talk with them, and he convinced them that black people are not all so terrible. Now I don't know if
Mm.
they were friends, but those people left the KKK in the entirety.
Really?
Yeah, and all it takes is understanding from another person. Because if
Oh,
all you taught is, and excuse my language, but it's only for emphasis to make a point that these niggas are ignorant, they're just doing everything, they're just ruining everything. When you run into a person like him and you see that he's insanely intelligent and charismatic, it completely goes against what you were thinking. It
right.
opens your mind to what things actually are. And if we could do that with more people about different subjects, we as a people can grow. We as a people can handle all conflicts that we suffer from.
Mm.
And
Absolutely.
it sucks, but we have a lot of people that's like minded. We're like, nah, I'm not gonna F with those people. And quite frankly, we need to F with those people. We need to convince them, right, that what they're doing is probably not 100% right. Or have us have a conversation so we can have a middle ground somewhere where we can both agree on. And then
Right.
move forward from there. Yeah, we won't have everything from the left. Yeah, we won't have everything from the right. But here's something that we agree on. Let's move forward. And maybe if we try left or right, and we both experience it together as a group, like we're watching it together. Because you ever watch a video by yourself and then watch it with a group and you notice a whole bunch of new shit?
Yeah, definitely.
So
It's
that's
crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And how I'm tying this into police brutality, we can literally group as a people say, listen, we got to make a change. Even though we're a republic, we have power as a people. We need to convince our councilmen, our governors, our mayors to make proper changes, and then take it from there. But if we don't all agree, it's not gonna make that push that's necessary. Because a mayor
Right.
won't stay mayor if the people is like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah. If you
So
want to get them out.
yeah, but we don't agree, and we've been taught to stay in our own little cliques. And we what we need to do is step out of our comfort zone. Step out of it completely. Just say, you know what, I'm gonna give this shit a shot. If I don't work, if it doesn't work, I'll give it like two more chances or whatever the case is. But give it a chance. Because if we don't give it a chance, man, we are going to continue in this path for far longer than we should. We don't need to be dying from police officers, and I said we, not as in just black people, but I mean we as our American people. We don't need to be dying from police brutality.
Right.
I do feel that getting your ass whooped is bad, but it's not as significantly worse as losing your life.
Not at all, man.
And it's scary that there's people that would argue like, oh, he shouldn't be doing this and he shouldn't be doing that. What shouldn't be going down is him losing his life for an interaction that was not violent in the first place.
Exactly.
So I think that we have a lot of work to do because
That was
huh
that was a good monologue by you, man. I enjoyed it.
it's not even for enjoyment, it's for information.
But this one is funny. This for enjoyment because it's
I,
it serves a purpose. It's a thought that needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and quite frankly, the podcast, even if it doesn't quote unquote blow up, if I could speak to different people of different cultures, of different ethnicities, and they can talk about it, if they can start a dialogue with somebody else, then eventually we'll come back together because I'm the source. See what I'm
Right.
saying? And then I would link up with those people, and then we'll spread the message. And if the message is strong enough, if there's people that's willing to back it, we can make some real change, man.
Facts, man.
It
Definitely.
it definitely is, man. I can't even stress that enough. But when it comes to police brutality, I feel that we're stuck because we respect authority so much.
Right.
Um, I
Authority respect us.
Yeah, it's not vice versa. It needs to be a balance. Now, I'm not saying that cops shouldn't shoot people because there's people that deserve it. There's
Yeah,
dangerous people.
some people need to be shot.
Even-
That's a fact.
eh,
But unarmed people, you know,
unarmed, unprovoking people do not need to be shot, and it's the fact that it's above the 60 range. And I'm talking about generally, not just for us. Generally that the amount of no, it's 50, it's 52. Sorry, I apologize about that, people. It's 52%. It's 30% us, 21%. I mean 22%. White people and others like under 0%. You know, under 1%. Um, we're being shot above 50% unjustly. So if you guys are hearing this and you think that this is something that's completely unfair and shouldn't be going down in the first place, please come together, talk about it. But just don't look at a video, see a guy who's unarmed, and he's saying stuff that in the heat of the moment that anybody else would have pretty much said. Don't be like, oh, he deserved to die, because no one deserves to die from a verbal altercation.
that's what I mean. Yeah. Comply or die. That shit is that's the worst shit I've ever heard.
And there's a lot of people that back that, and it's fucking horrible. But what I am gonna do, right? Mostly because there's some pending things that I have to take care of, and I'm pretty sure you're running low on time also.
Yeah, I actually was trying to put that out there, but yeah, you're right. You hit it right on the head.
Yeah, we're gonna shorten this mostly because we're almost talking in circles and we're bringing up light topics around it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but for the most part, man, to shorten up this the rest of this video, there's too much injustice that's happening, and if we don't take that necessary step to address it, not as a singular person, I'm not trying to say that a single person can't make a difference, but a group can have a bigger difference. We need to talk about it. We need to unite, and we need to move forward together. Do you agree with that, brother?
Absolutely.
All right, you sounded
I,
bad. You sounded kind of far away, but I definitely heard that. Absolutely, man. So
right, right.
so everybody at home, just take this moment to think. Do you really want you to be in a situation where you have to fear for your life for the people that's supposed to protect you? If that's a thought that you're thinking about, please talk to your neighbor, talk to your friends, gather people, and we can all talk about it together. I definitely have time and space, especially on Fridays, where we can all get together and make some progress. Mr. Dar, I gladly appreciate you for coming on the show today. I'm glad that you weren't just like listening and greeting with everything. We kind of had some back and forth there. But
Right, right, of course.
yeah,
But
you
that's how we are.
yeah, you gotta be like, nah, that doesn't sound right. And it's okay. It's okay that if you had a discussion with somebody and y'all disagree on points, but
Right.
y'all just can't stop there because you disagree with them. You gotta work
Ex-
through it.
Exactly.
And I look forward to having you on the next show. I'm not entirely sure if it will be religion.
You know when.
I will
You
update everybody via Facebook and you personally, um, through Messenger if I'm gonna go the religion route. I just gotta make sure that I have all the three people and they're willing to do it. But I'm usually
Okay.
free on Friday.
Sounds good. But whatever topics you got planned, you let me know, and I'll
Yeah,
and I'll go from there. I'll let you know if I'll be a part of it or not.
that's not a problem, man. I keep up to date with everybody I had on the show. So
Right, brother.
you're no different. And for everybody else at home, thank you again for listening. I look forward to hearing from your input. If you have any questions or if you just want to say something, leave it in the comments below. And always like and subscribe my channel. You can also follow me at twitch.com/rantsadvice.tv. And that's where I constantly stream not only just the podcast, but also video games. I look forward to speaking with you all, so let's all grow together, learn together, and be better. Until next time, guys. Thank you, Darhi.
Peace.
Johnny.